So if you've been under a rock for the past few days, the new Celebrate character has been causing controversy, and also it's been marketing. you know, I don't think what is it shift up? Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, but yes, controversy is about how the character's face looks, and yeah, our favorite bald person, our favorite bald streamer, you know, Asman Bald, Bald Man Gold, yeah, him. He said while reacting to the state of, well, was the state of play? No, it's the Xbox Game Showcase. Yeah, whatever he was reacting to at the time, saying that why does why does this character look like a 12-year-old when the voice sounds like an adult? You know? Yeah. But I have a rev says this video to check out right here, people. I'm gonna react to this, and the title is "Just Take the L." Just take the L. It dropped a day ago. I didn't react to it right away. I'm just now hopping on the bandwagon of this controversy, and to get caught up with it. So yeah, people, you know, as always, God loves you. God bless you. Yeah, you guys can achieve greatness. You guys are special. You made in the image of God, and you just have to lock in, rely on God all the way, because you can't. What's the point in achieving greatness without God in the midst of it? So, guys, let's get this, people. Yeah, it's Wolf. Oh my gosh, celebrate drama, bro. Drama, controversy.
Turning to the Stellar Blade Blood Rain discourse.
Oh, wait.
Hey, what's up, guys? Here. So in this video, we'll be once again returning to the Stellar Blade Blood Rain discourse. Now, over the past couple of days, I have covered the many different crash outs people are having over the design of the new main protagonist for this franchise, Evie. Now, today we're going to be talking about really two prongs. First, some of the takes on the situation from ASMONGOLD, which have been quite controversial, and then the response from Muujin, who is trying to subtly disagree with ASMONGOLD while also taking pot shots at his supposedly brainwashed community, and Muujin is getting absolutely...
How did Muujin fit himself into this situation, bro? You need to go talk about some gacha games, bro, or some VTubers, bro. How the heck did you reach into this?
Torn apart. Now, of course, with the Stellar Blade discourse, we have seen countless people on social media try to label this character as a literal child, and that there's something very, very wrong with you if you enjoy this character. Now, of course, we've seen some viral cosplays like this.
And I've seen that cosplay. And literal real women can't look like that video game character, bro. Like, this is very close, bro. Very close. You would damn near think that she's the model for that character, but we haven't seen the model for the character yet. So whenever that information comes out, I would like to see a lot of people with egg on their face, But yeah, a lot of people are gonna double down and not, listen their takes.
Where adult women are cosplaying as Evie, and they look very similar. In fact, here is a side-by-side of this cosplayer and the character, and I would be very interested to hear what the massive difference is, where this is an adult woman that is in no way problematic versus this that is a literal child and something you should be locked up for. Now, of course, some people are looking at comments.
And I'm talking too much already, but I can see that the character's face, the video game character's face, is more rounded, and the person that cosplayed it is her face is more long. Yeah.
From the Stellar Blade Blood Rain CEO, who said that they want to make Evie shorter and younger looking than the former protagonist Eve, and younger looking than the former protagonist Eve. But of course, the psychopaths on social media lack any reading comprehension. They see shorter and younger, and in their minds, that confirms their headcanon
that it's, illegal fantasy type material, bro.
That this is a literal child and that you should go around harassing people over it. Now, one of the people to make a take about Evie is, of course, ASMONGOLD, who said that she looks like a child.
Okay, right here, is what he's. This is where he said it. Like right here is when he said it, and the character does look young right here. You know. However, this is by our standards of people in the West, where this is not the norm for what we see for adult women. And whenever, a big content creator like Asmon says stuff like that, you know, you're basically setting yourself up for failure, because in other parts of the world, there are adult women that look like that. And a lot of them. So Asian people just exist, bro. I can disagree with your point, but that doesn't make me hate the dude. But he continues to double down, and it makes it look worse for him. So, yeah.
He would go on later to say that he thinks anyone who consumes anything lolly related is a full-blown predator. And he would have one of the longest back and forths on Twitter I've seen from him in quite some time, where people were disputing his claims, even bringing up studies and examples to prove against him. And when confronted with this, he simply says he's basing this off of his feelings, which of course, if any other person was trying to make a blanket statement against millions of people, labeling them as something dangerous, he would laugh them out of the building for basing their opinion on their feelings and not.
Oh my gosh. And that is a fact. Like Asman literally denounces a lot of people who basically who roots most of their arguments in how the way that they feel. So in this situation, him in this situation, him leading with how he feels and not providing literal empirical data to back up his statement seems hypocritical in this case. And it more than likely is hypocritical. But let's continue.
Actual evidence or anything like that. In fact, he goes further and says that AI would agree with him, and spoiler alert, it doesn't. Point being, I disagree with Asmongold's take here, and a lot of people in his own community disagree. But that's okay. We're grown adults. We're mature. We can disagree on things. Yes. Just because I agree with Asmongold on other things doesn't mean I agree with everything he says.
And that's a fact. And a lot of people really do think that if you are a fan or you watch a certain content creator a lot, means that you co-sign and agree with everything that they've ever said and ever done or will say in the future. And these people, let me introduce to them the concept of nuance. You should not seek to agree with any and everyone or someone that you like 100%. That's not how humans work. Yeah.
It is healthy to be able to disagree. Now, one person who does not believe that is possible is Muujin, the old Muujinator over here, who is trying to, on the one hand, somewhat defend Asmongold's take on Stellar Blade, while also taking pot shots at Asmongold's community, trying to label them as brainwashed and completely incapable of disagreeing with him, not only on this subject, but on any subject. Now, I think there's some context needed for Muujin in his current state of mind right now. I think
he's still suffering from the psychuno here situation, Yeah. I had to do that, bro. I had to I had to embody the cringe in that moment. Don't be upset. I'm disappointed too. But bro, whenever these weird behaviors pop into my mind, I some of the times that self-control is not there.
Think about many things. Now, you guys know over the past couple of months, he got into some hot water and his credibility took a big hit when he made a video about Psychuno. Psychuno was outed as a serial cheater, but unfortunately, the main Google Doc sharing this information was made by this Himomo individual who not only labeled him a cheater, but went further and labeled him as a dangerous predator. Ooh. Of course, that...
Ooh. Yeah, like literally. To make people go ahead and build a headcanon that he was a danger to society, you know? Yeah, like an actual predator, you know?
Is a gigantic reach, and of course she has not taken down the related post and Google Doc and has
Nope,
really used this attention
they
to
haven't
promote
taken it down.
her adult content for basically the minimum wage standard that she achieved. But of course, Mugen
Five
ran with this
dollars.
Google Doc, accepting everything as facts from it, and made a now deleted video where he not only talked about the cheating, which was very real and very disgraceful from this guy, but he went a step further and also labeled him as a predator. Now, of course, we know the fallout from this situation was an absolute mess. He Momo
Guys, this was over a month ago. What? She's still getting heat for it? Yeah.
openly admitted and even shared a Discord call where she was fully aware that Psychono was cheating on his girlfriend, and she was still trying to get him back at that moment, knowing full well his girlfriend was in the other room crying as this was happening. And when she was rejected, she then made the Google Doc. The timing, very suspect. Now, she
Yeah.
wasn't the only one that came out and made a fool out of themselves. We also have this Alpha Leah individual who showed his predatory behavior by showing that he paid to fly her out for consensual intercourse, which, of course, if you look at the timelines of those
Oh my gosh, you just literally showing me that if oh my god, bro, if you didn't want to go, you didn't have to. Bro, he could have paid for the ticket. You could have stayed at your home, but you still went. And this victim mentality, this victim complex is tiring. I'm telling you. You do a disservice to people that actually experience those type of situations.
screenshots and her own statements, it sounds like Alpha Leah was also cheating on her then boyfriend during this circumstance, who then left her during this whole fiasco. Then we had this other person come out and try to prove his predatory behavior by admitting that they had consensual
Yes.
intercourse. In fact, the
Yes.
clout surrounding the situation was so tempting
Yes,
that we had
palpable.
so many people coming out and sharing their
Get in there.
experiences with
Make
Psycho,
it about you.
including VTubers like this, showing their interaction with him, which was simply him saying, crap. It was a giant circus, but of course, he made the video, and the backlash from it was very significant, and he would continue to crash out on social media, acknowledging that his community was concerned,
Rev
but
is
of
just
course, he
catching
was
us up on
deflecting
the
and
lore.
avoiding any accountability, which he would get noted for multiple times,
Let me
where
speed it
he
up
claimed he was
more
doing the right thing,
because
but the
Rev
notes said
talks very
otherwise,
slowly.
and eventually he would make an apology video, quote-unquote apology video, that he would leave up for a week and then delete, because he believed that since the original video was up for a week, his apology video only needed to be up for a week. I guess all things balanced approach. A lot of people did not really like the lack of accountability, especially his smug attitude about how he's just going to move on and continue making videos that millions of people will enjoy. Now, I mentioned all that as a backdrop to the return of Saigono, who just came back this week, and maybe after a very failed campaign to defend the honor of a bunch of e-girls, Mugen's a little upset. Mugen, who's not been very active on Twitter, apparently felt this was so important he needed to weigh in on the Stellar Blade discourse specifically. Some of the comments made by ASMONGOLD saying this: join my hands in prayer for Asmon worshippers who've defended Lolly for years and who are now struggling endlessly as to whether they should disagree with him for once or just abandon their values overnight for the never-ending grift. As you can see, he has 700 likes and 400 comments.
And I disagree with Asmin's take on Lolly, but yes, I do think it's weird that that a lot of people who vehemently champion it, but most of the times, and we've seen it increasingly on the internet, that the people that vehemently call out people that openly like appreciate lolly characters and in anime or any medium, those are the ones that have been caught with CP before, like literally locked up, bro. Not saying that there aren't people that enjoy lolly content or characters aren't in the deranged individuals that are a danger to society that need to be locked up. That does mean the entire medium should be done away with, or you shouldn't associate with anyone that even watches anything that a lolly might be present in, as in a lolly character. You know, just a short Asian girl. Yeah, you know. I have to give a lot of context, bro. But that's how it is when they're talking about certain topics. Well, yeah, let's continue.
And he's getting absolutely roasted for lacking the understanding. He can't even comprehend that someone would disagree with Asmongold. And if you've been in his streams or seen some of his related stuff, people are disagreeing with him a lot. A lot of people from
Yeah,
his own community are very outspoken, disagreeing with his point. And as someone who generally likes Asmongold, I disagree with his points entirely. And that's really what I said in my reply, saying it might be a foreign concept to you, but people can disagree with someone's take, even if they like the person making it. So let's go through
exactly.
some of the things Asmongold said. Well, number one, he said that Eevee looks like a child. Now, a lot of people have been using the standard not only against characters like this, but against real people, especially when you have a more realistic looking character like this. And a lot of people are quick to point out that people use the same sort of argument to call Asmongold a predator over his, I think, former girlfriend. I'm not sure if they're still together, but
Oh yes, and this is one of the things. There was literally, I think, about a couple months ago, where this schizo on Twitter, re- professionally regarded person, made up headcanon and tried to falsify screenshots of his former Asian girlfriend's birth year to make it be to make it seem like her age was she was 17 or 17 when she and Asmund was talking or in a relationship, bro. And that individual had to run on the internet because that would be grounds for a lawsuit, bro. And Asmund even say maybe I should make a few calls. But this is the thing with Asian women, and some African women have this aesthetic also. Like you go to South Africa, and adult women that they used to call this a baby face, like you look young for your age. I'm not seeing a problem right here. You trying to find a problem, but I'm not seeing it because like people like this do exist.
on the left you have Eevee from Stellar Blade, and this is the girlfriend of Asmongold, the former, current, whatever. But
Former,
please explain to me how there is a massive difference here. There really isn't. And there's absolutely nothing wrong
it's
with
not.
Asmongold for dating
There's just
an
none.
adult woman like this, but this logic of calling people predators over Eevee's design, well, it seems pretty racist, and it's something that people have used against people like Asmongold for a very long time.
And that's a fact though. I don't think Asmund is racist, but it does seem that way. And I saw a content creator made a video about the situation, saying stop Asian hate. And bro, maybe that content creator is an Asian woman. I'm not sure if I'm gonna check out the video. Wait, one moment, people. Um, let me see if I can get a quick find that video. Mm. On to shout out. Well, okay, here it is. This this creator, their intro to their video is "Stop Asian Hate." So Asian women are not adults. This is the title of the video. You guys can go check it out. Yeah, if this video gets enough viewers, you guys can go check it out. But I didn't react to this video, but if anyone, well, if I feel like it, I might check it out for more information, or if it adds anything um valuable to what I've already said in Rev's reaction. So I'm gonna go back to that. You guys can go check out Al Alteori. Yeah, yeah, that channel. So let's get back to this.
And again, if you're going to say that she looks like a child, how do you explain stuff like this? Are you going to say this about this woman? Because again, I'm hard pressed to understand how there is a night and day difference between these appearances. And when it comes to Stellar Blade itself, people are trying to rewrite history, saying that nobody claimed Eve, the original protagonist, looked like a child. But that is not true. People were doing the same exact thing with Eve when she was released about 2 years ago.
Exactly, bro. I remember getting told I hated hot women in video games because the cushion was Eve's face. Oh my gosh. I am 33, which is apparently older than, well, I'm not going to read that. So, yes, people were upset about Eve from Stellar Blade.
They were saying she looked like a literal child. And then, when these same people found out that she was based on 3D imaging of a real adult woman, they didn't even care. They continued to call people predators for enjoying this character. They said still looks like a child because, well, it's racist. They see a youthful-looking adult woman, specifically an Asian woman, and they have these very disgusting claims. And we're seeing it happen again with Evie. And of course, Asmongold would also make these claims about lolly enjoyers being predators, and he would have this charts that he made. And honestly, it's all based on his feelings. He doesn't have anything to back this up.
Yeah, but with, I know it's based on his feelings, but with people, with a topic like lolly enjoyers, people, because it has such a negative connotation to it, because the term lolly is it has such a it covers such a broad spectrum of the fashion, the stature of the women, and the culture surrounding it. Like, bro, just having a short Asian woman who's an adult, they can call her a lolly. Freerin is a lolly, and I saw him crashing out also about Freerin. But Freerin being over 1,000 years old, you will call her Loli Baba, as in old lady lolly, bro. So yeah, short Asian women that don't get much tall, they normally categorize them as those. And granted that they normally use the term in fiction. If they do use it in real life, it's very few far between. Maybe it's more prevalent over in Japan when they use the term, but I don't think they use it in real life very much.
Other than his own feelings, he feels like this is the correlation, which sounds very familiar. It sounds like some Jack Thompson territory where back a couple decades ago, this guy was on a moral crusade to convince a bunch of soccer moms that playing violent video games like Grand Theft Auto was going to turn their children into violent people committing real crimes. And that sort of bubble he's creating sounds like something that Jack Thompson would have made all those years ago.
And he also Asmongold doubled down on that situation, on that, bro. He doubled down. I do think I saw he was in his replies with someone or someone else's replies about the situation, and he says, yes, that is the argument that I'm making. And if Asmon even ever talks about this situation again, because it's been a couple of days, I think he's probably moved past it, doubled down on, and he's not gonna take it back. He's probably gonna say, if he ever talks about it, he said, I farmed this situation so hard, bro. Yeah, and these people really thought I was, serious about that. Bro, yo, man, people are so stupid and gullible on the internet, man. It's a bunch of regarded, yeah. I really do think that's the angle he would go for, but a lot of people might not, still wouldn't accept that. But yeah.
Now, of course, I showed this earlier. This is a screen recording of a back and forth between Asmongold and one of his fans disagreeing with him. And to sum up what we're seeing here, the fan brought in studies that disprove some of the things he's claiming, specific examples that disprove some of his points. But Asmongold really just dug his heels in and doubled down on everything and just openly admitted this is based on his feelings. And if Asmongold was coming across an opinion from someone who's basing a very large blanket statement on their own feelings, he would laugh them out of the building. In fact, people also brought up the fact that a lot of people who project about fictional content end up being horrible people themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's true. And bro, the situation, a lot of people probably are tired of seeing this already. But Asmon, Asmon. Yo, I'm a digress. I'm not gonna say anything. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
And with the Stellar Blade discourse, I literally covered this yesterday. A popular artist who obviously isn't taking the feedback well since they've gone private on Twitter, this person was making tweets talking about how you're a predator for enjoying the character Evie, and even said she looks like a child in her face and all those things. And he was outed for his own history of sending unsolicited pictures to women and also justifying it because he was worked up, and then also had tweets defending literal predators. And of course, to add on to the hypocrisy here, he also has lolly hentai in his likes back when likes were public, many such cases. But he ended his little swan song here by saying, petite women exist, ignoring the obvious part that her face has the proportions of a child's, which of course is the same thing we're hearing in this overall discussion. And then Asmongold also brings up lolly characters, which he doesn't understand the definition of. That's not a mystery to anyone. People who have followed Asmongold.
Yeah. Rev normally uses the definition about of it being like cute fashion, but yeah, it's even broader than that, the definition for it, bro. So I don't tend to get into the weeds for it, because when you get into the weeds, that's when you look more and more like you might be someone that needs to be locked up, a criminal.
Well, no, he doesn't understand what that even means. It is a petite body type of fiction. It has nothing to do with age, and you can see his community pushing back on him when he is surprised that they're calling a character like Frieren a lolly, which fits the definition very well.
Exactly.
In fact, as pointed out in the comments.
And right here. So, Megumin from Konosubarashi. Yes. Come on. Yeah. Yes, God bless this wonderful world. Yeah, shukufuku world. Yeah, okay. I'm quite calm down. So, Megumin, she's a lolly. She is also, I think about 16, 17, probably thereabouts. Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edronus, she's a lolly. She's an adult, as in she's depicted as an adult in the series. Tatsumaki from One Punch Man, she's a lolly. Her younger sister looks like she's older than her because yeah, the design, yes, but she's actually an adult. Frieren is over 1,000 years old because in the fiction, elves live longer than humans, so they can live multiple lifetimes, more than but because of her design, the design is a lolly character. And I'm telling you, it's only because I've been watching anime for ages, bro, for ages, way back in 2012, even before that, because I used to, back when we had cable when we were a kid, we used to stay up on late nights, on Friday nights for Toonami to catch a few anime episodes, Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or whatever other anime there was. Some of them I didn't understand. Even Evangelion, the plot probably flew over my head, but yeah.
Here, what's the difference between these characters? You have Frieren, Tatsumaki, Rebecca, Megumin. What is the massive difference between these characters? There really isn't one. And one of the good examples here is Rebecca from Cyberpunk. This is a character that is in her 20s. She's petite, and she's undoubtedly a lolly.
I tell you, Jamaican phrase. May I tell you? Yes, I'm telling you. That scene with Rebecca, pointing that right at David's temple, bro. Yeah, right at his forehead. And when the door busted open, that's fire, bro.
In fact, the studio that created the anime refer to her as a lolly. And I have reported.
Yes, the lolly must stay. CD Projekt Red saying that well they didn't want a lolly in Edrunners, but Studio Trigger said, "Yo, the lolly stays." Yes.
On this. I remember reporting on this years ago and getting death threats and people going after me, not only angry at the truth of what I'm reporting, like what literally happened, but they're also telling the creators they're wrong about their own description, their accurate description of this character. In fact, another character that was mentioned is Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki is another character in her late 20s, petite build. And we've seen this transcend not just to harassing people over fictional characters, but harassing real women as well, just like we're seeing with the Stellar Blade discourse. You guys probably remember when I talked about the cosplayer Yuki, who's in her 20s, but she's 4'11" and petite. And when she
4'11". What? Yuki, she's in her 20s? 4'11".
Played as Tatsumaki in this image right here, which went viral with 225,000 likes. She received a barrage of viral tweets calling her pedo bait, saying that anyone attracted to her is a predator. They were trying to harass and slander her. It goes beyond just fictional content. People are using these slanderous connections to harass real people as well. And then we also had this claim from ASMONGOLD regarding Stellar Blade, saying that AI would agree with him on his take that lolly enjoyers become predators. Well, AI does not agree, at least Grok doesn't. I mean, it's a very straightforward question I typed in here, and they say there's no evidence of any sort of causal connection.
Yes, and Asmon loves to Grok things, you know? Loves to Grok things. So Grok, yeah, doesn't agree with you.
Between the two. It's perfectly okay to not like this stuff or to think it's weird, but to start making blanket statements that would literally incriminate millions and millions of people over your feelings, not evidence, but your feelings, is a pretty dangerous one. And also when you have to rely on AI to prove your points, I think you're already kind of losing the battle. And these sort of comments, just slinging out these serious terms over people, especially when it comes to fictional content, is something that's impacted everyone in this scenario, including ASMONGOLD. I remember videos like this, where Hassan was calling him a predator for having a discussion about these related topics, and even in the past, labeling him as a predator for simply reacting to my videos on these related subjects. I think that's completely ridiculous in the behavior of someone I would expect from Hassan, of all people. But all of this to say, I respectfully disagree with what ASMONGOLD is saying, and apparently to Muujin, that is a literal impossibility. But we are mature adults, we can disagree on things while still liking the person who's making the points. But of course, the comments are destroying Muujin. It did not go the way he thought it would.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. They bodying you in the comments, and it's you deserve it, bro.
What Kirsha's saying, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. They're bodying you in the comments, and you deserve it. Chief is saying people can fully disagree with someone and still like them. Why is this such a foreign concept to many? And Savvy saying, why is it such a shocking concept to you that people can disagree but still like someone? You really have embraced a modern audience, huh?
Yes.
And then here's the user who was doing that back and forth on Twitter with ASMONGOLD saying, I still like him. Despite everything, I still like him. To me, he is still in the top 5 of all content creators in my list. I disagree with maybe 5 or so takes out of 100 takes that he makes. I align with his opinions 95% of the time. This ideological purity testing, so common with people like you, is so cringe. I have friends in real life who are on the opposite sides of the political spectrum, agree 50% on controversial issues, and yet we have been very good friends for 20 plus years. This post really says a lot about you as a person, Muujin.
Yes, he literally coming here trying to capitalize off the situation, off the controversy, which is not really a big situation, bro. I'm just here reacting to it because I haven't uploaded a video on the channel for you guys in a long time. Yeah. Inconsistency, man, and that's why I'm not growing. But I got the J slur that I have to go to every day, 5 days a week for 8 hours, and then when I come home in the evenings, I get tired, and then I don't make any videos, and then I have another channel that I have almost 3,000 subscribers on, that I make regular normie music type reactions on there. You guys can go check it out, link in the description. Shameless plug accomplished. Yeah, so just check it out, Wolf Sama HD, all the socials. I'm not streaming anymore because of that same J slur, job. Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point, right? Muujin is trying to tiptoe his way around agreeing with ASMONGOLD's points while also bashing his community at the same time. And it's a giant mess. I think Muujin should probably just lay off of the Twitter for a little bit. But overall, that is my response. Like, people are, I guess, shocked that anyone could disagree with ASMONGOLD. I do so respectfully. I think this claim about Evie and
So yeah, that's basically the situation. I agree with most of what Rev said. Well, basically everything, because yeah, you can like people and disagree with them, and a lot of people are gonna see me speeding up the Rev's video in this reaction. Yeah, he talks very slowly. So do I, but if I'm talking slow and he's talking slow, the video is gonna be an hour long, and it's getting there already. So let's close this up, people. It's not a big deal, bro. It's just that him as a huge content creator saying what he said, it basically erases an entire demographic of Asian women. Yeah, some Asian women don't look that young in their 20s. Some do, and it's just a fact. Even I see black women that look like they still in their teens, bro, and they have to have to show their ID cards to prove that they actually are of age. And a lot of people just still, just because they don't want to end up in a jail cell. Yeah, even out here in Jamaica, people stay away, you know. So yeah, people, that's the situation. Not really much going on. Yeah. Other huge situations going on, Reckless Ben and the Lego situation. I've been keeping up with that. I might react to Coffeezilla's video tomorrow when I come from work. And this girl got caught by her boyfriend messing with her cousin, bro. That is, oh my gosh, you cheating, and plus you committing an abomination, bro, by dealing with your blood cousin. That's wild. And she came out and tried to justify it, and then the backlash happened. And bro, someone needs to sum up that situation so that I can react to it, bro. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. I appreciate you stopping by. You guys are awesome, and as always, you guys are made in the image of God. You can achieve greatness. Find your purpose. Find your talent. Find whatever you're passionate about. Lock in. Do it with discipline. Yeah. And as always, lean on God. Lean on Jesus, man. Yeah. In all that you do, you should have him in the midst of it, because what's the sense? What's the point of it doing it anyway? You know? Don't be like these people, you know? Don't be like terminally online people like Mujin trying to, come up off crumbs of clout from a controversy that he feels like he's morally superior on, I'm telling you, the cringe behavior I get up to, man. So, yeah, people, as always, you guys are wonderful. You can do it. Get to it. God loves you. God bless you. You made in his image, man. You beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next one, whichever one it may be. Honest thoughts and comments down in the comment section. It's Wolf. Peace out. Itekimasu. Let's get this. Let's get this. Later, people. No edits. No edits on this, man.